blackbirds that cried, kept pity on us, giving sight to Bartimaeus sitting there in the dust. A woman came to the well with her bucket, you know, but she left with a river in her soul. And He'll give you a miracle. He'll give you a miracle. He'll give you a miracle. Jesus is a miracle man. When heartaches and pain are all around you, trouble gone.
Today I'm going to be talking about a subject I think is really important. It's about witchcraft. And so I want to explain, I got a message from a lady that had so many problems at work. She couldn't understand why that all these problems are going on at work, and she's had all kinds of terrible things, not just in her work, but it seemed like everywhere she went, it followed her. The spirit of witchcraft is something that people need to understand, because the spirit of witchcraft it affects everybody. It's in this world. Now, the spirit of witchcraft is not just only a spirit, it is a principality. The Bible talks about, in the scriptures, about principalities and powers in high places and so forth. Well, a principality is different than a power. A power is a spirit that rules, areas, kingdom, like maybe continents or whatever in this world. And then there are also spirits individual spirits that rule over cities. You go from one city to another, you'll find that each city has a different kind of a spirit. And it seems like the difference, it's the devil, I think he's very organized. What he does is he's got principalities and he's got powers, and he has individual, you see, you learn all this stuff from God, because he's with God. We don't know. It could have been billions of years. You don't know how long Satan's with God, because God made him very, very powerful and so forth. But he learned how to be organized like God. So he's got principalities, which are the main powers, and he's got powers, and he's got a regiment. It's like an army. And so he has individual spirits that roll over cities. You go to, I went down to San Antonio, Texas one time, and boy, there was a good spirit there. It was just great, Then I went to another city. It's very dark and depressing, And then we flew into Chicago. Man, everything's updated. Everything's going on. They got it going on in Chicago, And you go into another city, seem real oppressed, So every city's different, So that's the way spirits work, and in the order of the army of Satan. So I want to get across to you, but witchcraft is not necessarily a regular spirit. It's a principality. What is a principality? It's a spirit or a power that circles the globe, goes around the world, goes around the globe. And so what type of spirit is that in the class of? Well, greed. It circles the globe. Everywhere you go, the same old devil, same old greed, same old. So, same with witchcraft. People want to exercise the witchcraft. Let me explain how you can spot witchcraft. You don't have to have discernment. It helps, but you don't have to have it. You can recognize it by this definition. The definition of witchcraft is manipulation, intimidation for the purpose to control. And so, that's what that spirit does. It intimidates people. It manipulates people for the purpose to control you and to dominate over you. The Bible says sin shall not have dominion over you, but you're supposed to have dominion over sin. And Isaiah 14 says, they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. You're supposed to rule over your oppressors, not the oppressors ruling over you, because Jesus said, I give you power over all the power of the devil and the enemy, and nothing by no means shall harm you. But if you don't know that, the devil could do a number on you. And that's the way he works. He likes to keep you in darkness, and he likes to make you think he doesn't exist, or that you really don't have that kind of a problem. Well, if you don't think you have a problem, well, then he can make a problem for you. So again, witchcraft, what is it? Manipulation, intimidation for the purpose to control you. So whenever you see a situation, let's put it this, called practical witchcraft. What does that mean? Witchcraft that is functioning around you in your world with which you live. People in this world exercise that witchcraft without even knowing it. Now, there's a difference of a person in their spirit. A person can have a spirit of witchcraft working through their soul realm, which is your mind, emotions, and so forth. Seat of emotions, your feelings, all this and that, your five senses, and so forth. Well, those are not your spirit. Your spirit, even a drunk. You see people that are really, you know, that you don't agree with their lifestyle and all this and that, maybe a drug addict or drunk or whatever, and they got this manipulative type of spirit going on all the time, and they're bad as far as the way they go about business and stuff like that. But really, when push comes to shove and their spirit comes out, you find out they get a good spirit, and a real likable spirit and a good spirit. And in their spirit, they're not that way. But in the soul realm, they are. So again, I call that practical witchcraft. See, people will function into the soul realm, and that's where the enemy comes in. And it also goes to show you that even if you're a Christian, if you're a Christian, you're born again of the Spirit. Not of the soul realm, the flesh realm, but of the Spirit. So if you're born of the Spirit, and your spirit is good, and you have a good spirit with God, you can have a love for God and a love for people in your spirit. But then if you're not living a dedicated, how would you say, crucified life, as we talk about in Romans, the 8th chapter, have a mortification of the flesh by the Spirit in your life, then the enemy is able to come in and through oppression bring all manner of, you know, wicked things, you know, and still be a child of God. That's why there's preachers, you know, there are good, so we classify the preacher supposed to be the best person, you know, but they have nasty anger, nasty tempers, and all they want to manipulate people, control people, do all kinds of stuff. Why? That's a functioning through the soul realm, and God is not pleased with that. So I want to get across to you again what Samuel said about Saul. Anyway, God told Saul to go out and destroy this city and everything that's in it. And he said, and cattle and animals, everything. He gave him specific instructions what to do. Well, Saul came back, and he brought all the animals, you know, because he said, well, wait a minute, I want to keep the animals, and there's money there, so I'll keep that, see. Well, God told him to get rid of everything, see. See what happens to a nation, it gets all messed up, and that's what we're concerned about our country. Once you get an infection in there by allowing your enemies to come in and take over and rule you and do all kinds of things and contaminate you, it's almost beyond, it's to the point of no return. So it's beyond the place of no return. And that's what's really bad. We're going to take a miracle to get our country back together if we can. Whether we can or not, I don't know. But it's not a good deal. So anyway, what I'm saying, so that's why God sometimes would destroy cities. They would develop a lifestyle like we have nowadays. You know, they're trying to get a lifestyle to show you that homosexuality is just another way of life. Or, people, they come to us and says, are you married? No, I'm in a relationship. No, what you're really saying, you're a whore, you're living in sin. But they don't want to look at it that way, see? And the Bible says no fornicator nor unclean person or whoremonger shall inherit the kingdom of heaven. So, fine, you don't want to go to heaven, that's fine. You're not bothering me, But I'm going to tell you, if you want to go to heaven, you better clean up your act. And God gave a law called the law of marriage to protect you. Not only protect you from those things, but to protect you from disease. You know that a guy that finds a girl that he loves and he found out she was a prostitute and she could have had all kinds of diseases, or a man or a woman, she falls in love with some guy, maybe he was homosexual or something like that, or it wouldn't have to be that, he would have sex with many different women and pick up some disease that would kill him. I've seen these people get married, and then the Lord protected them. Even though I know a girl that married a guy that had AIDS, and she lived all the time with him, and she was married. She never got AIDS. He had AIDS till he died. And so what I'm trying to say is marriage, the law of marriage will protect you. But if you don't have that law of marriage and you leave yourself wide open, you're on your own. So I'm not saying you're going to get sick, but there's a good opportunity, a good chance the law of sin can take you out. Read Deuteronomy 16 through 68 of all the curses, and I'm going to tell you, it's not pretty. Any of them can take you out. In the old days, in the 1800s, man, that didn't take too much. Smallpox could take out a whole city. And so